too long ago.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another special edition of the Mack Brothers podcast.
Hi, hello.
Today we're here in El Casa de Maca.
Yeah. Let's get some
Down.
things out of the way real quick. One, you can't see it. We're actually in
One.
we're actually inside of a rainbow right now. This is actually how the ancient Greeks communicated through
Light.
what's the goddess's name? I think it's kaleidoscope. I think that's where they get the term kaleidoscope from. It's communication from one of the communication god. It's through a rainbow.
I don't fuck with
So
the
that's
Greeks.
actually where we're at right now. We're here to deliver a special message. But before we get to that,
I don't fuck with the Greeks. I just wanted to put that out
you're
there.
Greek.
I don't fuck with them.
You're 2%.
Just because I am Greek don't mean I fuck with Greeks.
What about olives?
Fucking love olives.
What about
I'll
what
fuck
about
up so many olives.
what about really cool architecture?
I could stare at like a really cool building for hours.
What about like democracy?
I'm a big fan of democracy in action and the idea of it.
So why don't you like Greeks?
I don't fuck with the Greeks.
Oh, okay.
I don't fuck with
The
them.
New Aged Greeks?
You know, I don't like retro Greeks. I don't like Greeks that think that they're better than everyone else just because, you know, Zeus is in their canon.
Yeah.
I don't respect that. But I don't got anything against Zeus. I love their mythology too.
I call him
love
Zooch.
Greek. Zooch?
Yeah.
I got a fucking lightning bolt.
Yeah. Hey, G.
Hey Z, what are you? Wait. Hey Z, it's me, your son.
Apollo.
It's me, Apollo.
Apollo is Zeus has like 1,000 children.
I got so many
And they're
kids.
all-
I don't know. Are you Apollo? Who are you? Are you Persephone? I can't tell.
I don't know if that's a Zeus child.
I don't fuck with the Greeks.
Yeah.
But I love absolutely. I really. I don't know if it's Greek, but I love me some falafel.
Mm.
And I like Greek yogurt sauce too. I think it's tzatziki or whatever. I love that. It's
Well, I think
really good.
Greek yogurt in general is really good. I like Greek yogurt a lot.
Yeah, I love Greek food.
But you don't like Greece.
I can't stand the Greeks. Can't stand them. But they actually told me something really cool though.
What?
They actually told me while we were entering their kaleidoscope light beam, they told me that we actually have a very important thing to talk about today on the podcast.
Yes.
And even though they reminded me of that, I still don't like them.
Before we get to that, League Island Brewing Club is the sponsor of the podcast, and it is the most delicious homemade beer you'll ever have in your life. We're getting the promo out early because we want people to see it. We want people to click the link in the description, but we also
Want people to drink. This is
we
what
want
we want.
what the Drake says in the beginning of Passion Fruit. He says, "Keep on drinking" or whatever. I sound the more you drink, the better I sound, kind of a thing. So
I hate Drake. I don't like that song Passion Fruit, but
Oh.
I do think that's what he says. Yeah.
So what is that in the top right corner?
Oh, that's Siri.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. Don't worry about Siri.
Well, League Island Brewing Club, Jesus' favorite beer, Zeus's favorite beer. Link in the description.
I love that beer.
All right, so we got to talk about something.
That's Z.
We made a special announcement.
Drum roll. We have
We have a brand new song coming out,
March 24th.
24th. It's called Country Woman.
The song is Country Woman.
Now, you might ask yourself, I just realized you're wearing a tie-dye shirt and we're sitting in the kaleidoscope rainbow.
I was ready for this.
So you might ask yourself,
My
why?
assistant-
I wish that we can get this view all the time. This is natural.
My assistant, Konavis Papadopoulos, told me.
All right, ready? So we're going to be cutting a... Let's make sure that this is ready to... This will be what is...
Do I need
promoted.
to enter like promotion mode?
No, but let's just not... Like, I keep cutting us off. And I'm trying to say something important. Country Woman is out March 24th. It is the newest single, and it's also a brand new direction for the Mack Brothers.
New direction.
And some people think, and we've talked to good friends, and they say, country.
They say Mack Brothers. Why do you guys want to be country superstars?
Yeah, when you think of the Mack Brothers, you usually think of, or at least we've been told, is Kings of Leon, Arctic Monkeys, The Strokes,
U2
Oasis.
We usually don't get like, wow, I'm getting a real strong.
A little bit of Rolling Stones we get.
We don't get like, wow, John, you have that really good Kenny Chesney flow.
Yeah.
We don't usually get that.
Well, that's because.
Wow, Matthew, you look just like Dolly Parton.
That's because we're not going to. Well, we might a little bit of Dolly Parton-ish, but
I hope so.
Country is not what you think it is. When you're not used to listening to country music, you think Florida Georgia Line, Waylon. What's that guy's name?
Waylon Jennings.
No.
I'm like, he's great.
Morgan Waylon.
I got one. You think of people hear country now. Think of Blake Shelton. He's on The Voice.
Yeah, you get these fucking wiffle bats. And
if you're in our area, you think of 92.5.
Yeah,
which is the mainstream country station.
Yeah, but what you're not hearing is, well, everyone knows of Johnny Cash. Everyone knows of Willie Nelson. Everyone knows of Waylon Jennings, who is a fucking all-star. Everyone knows of Orville Peck, now newer guy, Paul Cathan. Or I'm saying not everyone knows is what I'm trying to say. These guys, the newer guys, the older guys, Marlon Williams,
John Anderson.
These are John Anderson, old school guy. These are staples in what we love, and we didn't really know that actually until the pandemic. And then once the pandemic hit, once we actually started going, let's write a country album. Let's just do it and you start actually listening to good country, quality country. You get exposed to songs like Cocaine Country Dancing. You get exposed to albums like Bronco by Orville Peck. You get exposed to the old school Waylon Jennings records that are just fucking the coolest records you'll ever hear. And that probably some people wouldn't like when they hear it because it's a little bit too brash, but it's awesome. And then you also start to make a correlation between the stuff that we do like. Tom Petty, the Rolling Stones, the Beatles.
All country influence.
All were at one point influenced by country. And then you go back and listen to what the country they were influenced by, and it's close to what we made during COVID.
Here's
as
like one of the first shades of pop country, but it's not called pop country. They kind of made it like a new genre. Bruce Springsteen, Americana. I mean, if there's not a genre that's more influenced by country artists that came before, then I don't know what is. Also, people look at certain artists like they're not country, but like Bob Dylan is a folk singer basically.
Yeah. And
that's close enough to country.
There's a lot of the early Kings of Leon. You can't tell me that is not heavily influenced by the fact that they're from Tennessee. I mean, that was super. I mean, that's basically a rowdy country record. And I think that when you listen to the country that we're going to make, it's in the vein of everything we just said.
It's like all East Coast country.
It's about as country and as folky that we can get without actually making it a parody. Which sometimes country has more elements of comedy than most genres of music.
Toby Keith's like whole career, is one big joke.
Yeah, and there's just a lot of great Cocaine Country Dancing is one of my favorite songs in the world.
Besides his one song he wrote about 9/11 that people like. We have a song called Football and Country, but it's not going to be on our up. It's not going to. We're not going to release that. Like that.
What we're trying to say is that this we went into this lighthearted, and we were able to keep it lighthearted, but we actually did take it serious at the end. And I think you're going to hear the actual you're going to hear through the songs. We're going to definitely through this first song, you're going to hear huge pop country, like good pop country elements. But I think when you listen to some of the deep dives that we're going to put out as well, you're going to really hear our evolution of taste in country.
I think it's definitely the most fun thing we've ever done. John's talking about a lot of influences. When we were writing these songs, I wasn't thinking about anyone. I was thinking about what I thought country was, which is sometimes funner to me because I like stories where people don't really have many influences and they go and they write like a whole album. I think that's fun. Like, oh, we locked ourselves up in the studio for a month. We didn't listen to any other music or anything, and we wrote an album. Like, I think that's cool.
Well, I think
you started listening to the country, a lot of country artists, before we were doing it. Well,
not really.
Before we were doing it, I think you did a little bit more than I did, and then I watched a documentary about the whole entire history of country music, which the real history of real country music is much more interesting than whatever pop monstrosities come out of Nashville.
Yeah,
but the pop monstrosities that come out of Nashville are the same ones that are coming out of studios in New York, London, and L.A. too. So it's really. All pop music's really the same. It's when you get out of those spaces you find the interesting music. Like, there's some good pop songs, obviously, because, on average there's going to be good songs. But country music, I feel like, has a higher proliferation of annoying music. Like, if you go by, like, annoying songs per capita or cringy songs per capita, I think country as an umbrella has more underneath it than possibly any other genre. It could be tied with rap because there's so much absolute drivel in the hip-hop community as well. So I think in me and John's case, when we wrote these songs, we weren't doing it for fun because we were writing so much music during the pandemic that we were writing all these serious songs. So it was kind of fun to just be like, let's just have some fun and write some songs.
Yeah.
And then they turned out to be really good songs.
And I think too, we should say that this is a friend of ours put it one way, and I think it's true. This is our Sgt. Pepper's.
yeah, in a way it is.
It's obviously me and Matthew on the tracks, but we were definitely in a different mind space, a different state of mind than we usually are. We assume different characters at different times, and
yeah.
There's no avoiding hearing that.
You're
definitely going to hear. I think with the way at least I sang like some of the lead vocals.
Yeah,
you're going to hear my Neil Diamond. Almost Sinatra. Like, I put on a lot of bravado, I think, and that was it was a choice, because these are almost characters. This is our Sgt. Pepper's.
Yeah, I mean,
that's how I like to think about it.
Anyone that really wants to get deeper in one, I will say we're going to talk about this more next week. As well, because we have a special guest next week, which we will
we'll announce on social media.
We'll announce on social media. So we are going to go more in depth on this release and what some of our inspirations were and stories behind it next week, and we're going to be doing that throughout the process while we're releasing these songs. So Country Woman's a song that's coming out March 24th, and there's going to be more songs to follow. There's going to be more announcements to come with those songs, too.
I'm so excited. Yeah.
This is definitely our most, I would say, for me personally, it could be because we're just ready to put all this stuff out. It's our funnest. It's like the most fun I have listening to our music, I would say. I'm not going to say like, oh, this is, I can't really go, oh, I have a favorite song of ours or this is our best song. But I can, without a doubt, say that these are going to be our funnest songs we've put out, especially as the Mack Brothers.
Well, I think, too, besides maybe one or two that are going to be put out in this collection. These are new-ish songs. These were all from 2020, pretty much, and 2021.
Let me think of the earliest. There's one song that was written a long time ago. Besides that song, what's the oldest song in this collection?
Ooh,
I don't know if there's any in 2019.
It might be a song called. Should I say the name? Yeah, I'll say it. It might be a song called "Colder in My Room."
That's from 2019.
That's before the pandemic, at least.
Do you think? Well, do you?
I'm almost positive.
Recorded or?
Oh no, not recorded.
Or ideas
since,
you had.
Since I wrote it.
You played it.
Yeah.
You were playing it before that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then everything else was written 2020 and forward. And there's some really fun. There's a lot of fun songs we have coming out. There's a lot of heartbreaking songs we have coming out in the same vein as what we're talking about. But the single that we're talking about now is Country Woman.
Country Woman.
Country Woman was what kicked off the idea that we can actually make a country record.
I think we always knew we could. I think the question was more. Well, even do we want to? We were dead set. I mean, years ago, if we were doing the same podcast 10 years ago, we were dead set against it.
Yeah.
But we always said country music was the easiest music to write as a joke.
Yeah.
You know? And then when we actually started writing it, I think what I more learned was it's probably the funnest music to write.
Yeah.
Because I definitely don't have I don't feel any. When we were doing these songs, I didn't feel any like, well, we're supposed to do a guitar line that sounds like this because this is the kind of song it is. It was just like Country Woman was just total like almost free flow kind of.
Country Woman we wrote in maybe 10 minutes, and then we recorded it. We recorded most of it in maybe a night.
I was recording the guitar lines, and you were writing the lyrics, listening to me record the guitar lines out loud. That's when there wasn't a melody yet. We were just doing it as totally as we went.
Yeah.
Which is what's really, really, really fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, I mean, we had, and I'm really excited. Another plug. I'm really excited to play it live for the first time.
I was just going to say that March 25th,
the day after it's released. So if you want to hear the song live after you listen to it, you're going to want to come see us at the Grape Room in Manayunk, March 25th. We have our backing musicians with us, Mark and Luke. And,
yes.
We're going to put on one hell of a show, and Country Woman will be played.
Country Woman 100% will be played.
Yeah, we'll play some of our older stuff, even some stuff from the 40s, from the 1940s, but we really want to showcase some of the new stuff we got, and we're super pumped about it.
So, in case you don't know, we have lots of rehearsing, so when we're not doing the podcast, because most of the stuff we've been putting out have been podcasts, we're recording, we're rehearsing, we're working on other things that go along with all this stuff, social media stuff too. So that's what we're going to be doing. So stay tuned for tons and tons of updates.
Yeah.
We have a lot of new music coming out. And I hope you guys like Country Woman when it comes out. I almost know you're going to like Country Woman.
Yeah.
Because it's a very infectious type of song.
I think if you don't like it, you're being a little pompous.
I think if you don't like it, not only are you being a little pompous, but I think you're acting a little Greek.
A little Greek.
A little Greek.
I personally like Greeks, and we are Greek.
Very
small percentage, but we are.
And there's such a rich history in Athens too. Like the whole backbone of most of the Olympics. I love the Olympics, winter and summer. Yeah. They're like some of my favorite things that I really, really enjoy watching the Olympics.
But you just don't like.
Can't stand Greeks, if that's what you're gonna say. I can't stand the Greeks.
What do you think about Giannis and Antetokounmpo?
What's his nickname?
The Greek Freak.
That's exactly what I think of him. He's a fucking freak. I don't like him. I don't like him. I don't like where he cuts. It's more so the fact that he's Greek, I think that I have a problem with. If he wasn't Greek, I'd actually love him because I love his style of play. I like the Bucks a lot. I think Milwaukee's an underrated place to play. I'm a big fan of small market teams in general. I like his story, like the fact that he was like what he was. Only one college even gave him a chance to play, and then he does what he does, be an MVP. Did he win a title?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Hall of Famer. Hate him.
Yeah, well,
Hate him.
guess what? I'll tell you this: if he wins MVP over Embiid this year, I'm right with you.
He actually just DM'd me and asked me for a preview of Country Woman. I told him no, actually.
Just because he's Greek.
Just because he's Greek, yeah. But but I sent one to Drew Holiday though. Drew Holiday has one.
Yeah, Drew Holiday asked
Sixers legend.
politely. Sixers
Also,
legend.
real quick, everyone. This podcast is mostly, as you can tell, about Country Woman that comes out on March 24th. But the Sixers season is fucking heating up, and you're gonna start hearing a lot more Sixers stuff. John also has been you've been getting involved in a lot more conversation on Twitter about.
Yeah,
Sixers.
I'm a Sixers Twitter guy. Not like professional like how like Sixers Adam is, and Mike Levin and Spike Eskin and all those guys. Oh, and Ball podcast. Love that dude.
Got to mention our friends over at Fired Up.
Oh, Fired Up. Well, you know what? They're not
primarily just a Sixers podcast though. They're all Philly sports.
Yeah, I get my free agency news about the Eagles from Fired Up. So if you're curious about all Philly related sports, go to Fired Up. But I am slowly starting to become a Sixers guy on Twitter, on my personal Twitter. That's beside the point. Country Woman's out the 24th. We're live at Manayunk. We're live at the
Grape Room
on 25th. Come listen to our new songs and some of our old songs live. Country Woman, again, the 24th. You're going to love it.
And stay tuned next week. Okay, special guest. We're going to make the announcement on
huge
social.
Special guest.
We're going to make the announcement on social media. It's been years in the making. We're finally doing it, and we are. Next week, we're going to talk more about Country Woman and with our special guest.
Yep.
So thank you for watching,
and subscribe. League Island Brewing Club in the description. Country Woman 24th.
Like, subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. John, can you say goodbye again?
Goodbye.